Even though Hitler and the whole World War II thing seems like it was so long ago, right? If you think about it in the scheme of things, right, it really wasn't that long ago. I was born in 1970. The war ended in what, 45? 25 years after the war, right as it ends, I was born. And I've been living in the same apartment for 29 years. So I've been living here longer than the space between Hitler's destruction, though he probably did sneak off to Argentina or Antarctica, to my birth. And when I was born, I was being raised up. Hitler was clear on everyone's mind. People were more aware of the atrocities and the mistakes by giving any government absolute power, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Now, the reason our forefathers put in the three levels of power, the three separations of power, was to put a balance in, right? You got the people, you got Congress, and then you have the president. But what the government has done is shifted the power from we the people to themselves, where they got like 90% now of the power, and we only have like a little 10% say so, which is hardly anything. And which is the most ironic part of all is now there's way more of us than there was ever before. We're like a huge giant compared to them. I mean, even if they have all these high-tech weapons, which they probably do, we are so much bigger than them, they wouldn't have to stand a chance. So let me just tell you something, okay? As a Christian, I know there's a real devil. So I know that the people are into sin more than ever with the internet and the access to all the stuff on there and all the, the adult sites. And then you got marriage is the biggest, bigger than ever, right? The divorce rate is out of control. It's up. Cancer rates are up too, by the way. But the point being is that God's covering has basically been removed off of America. Now, there's probably a few Christians and a few good people that are keeping it together, because they're trying, and we all know that they're trying to break America down so they can get their one world order going. It's order out of chaos, but they're the ones creating the chaos. So when if we were creating the chaos, that'd be one thing. And false flags and blaming them on us ain't gonna work, because we're past that line, or they would have done that a while back. It probably would have worked, but it ain't gonna work now because there's just too much information out. But order out of chaos only works when we're the ones creating the chaos, or not us, but anyone in particular, and we need help and control. So they come in as the saviors. So when they're when they're making the chaos, but they're not able to hide it as them, is a better way to say it. And they can't really come in and fix up the chaos. So now we know that they control the weather, but they want to tax us on the weather, or blame the weather on global warming. You can't control the weather and then blame it on global warming. And that's everything they're doing. It's like a catch-22. They're getting caught left and right, because God is removing the veil. He's starting to allow the common person just to see what's been going on for a long time. How evil. They're not just regular, like, scumbag car salesman type of people that are just skimming off the top. They're like literally going around murdering people, taking property. I mean, just out of control. Everything our forefathers warned us about. Everything they warned us about, that they told us that if it ever got that bad, we were to take the country back by force. Basically. Yet they're masking it when it comes to the main public. And the reason why, like we have to be careful, because we learned from Martin Luther King that if you He told them if you fight back, they're gonna spin it. When they had that protesting going on, and then the police watered them all down, and they didn't fight back. And then people woke up and said, "Wow, the police are the ones that are actually doing it this time." Because when you fight back on video, it would look like you're the one instigating it. And then you go online and you hear all these whistleblowers talking about all these horrific child crimes and how the judges and the police are helping to cover it up. And it's like one story after another, after another, after another. And it's like, wow, that if you were to get this information out to the people, and the people need something because they're decaying inside. They're looking for all this inner joy out of pleasure, by going out and having sex and just doing everything vile against the Lord, against God, thinking they're going to get some inner peace from it. And all they do is end up miserable. But they go for more, and they go for more because they get addicted to the pleasure part. And now they need that for their life because their life is so miserable. But they need something, see? And they know, they can feel that there's something wrong, but they can't quite place it. They can feel it. So the goal would be to get the information to the main public, let them know what's going on. But in a way where you don't want, at the same time, you don't really want anarchy. Because you want to and that's another idea. They might be trying to cause anarchy. They might be trying to cause it, and they're going to take off and leave us burning, basically leave us all destroyed. So we don't want anarchy. You'd want to do it in a way where the main public can get the word, the message is going on. It would be how 911 was when they did that horrible act to us, and we banded together and we're basically singing Kumbaya. So the atrocities that's already being committed by the criminal government would actually bring everyone together to sing Kumbaya, basically. And any wife or husband opposing would basically be singled out and questioned, right? But YouTube, no matter how much they try to scare you, they're going to pull your video. They'll pull some videos and they'll pull some channels, but they won't pull the truthers to a certain degree. Because let me tell you something, YouTube, if anything, was meant to basically keep you content, to kind of accept your suffering. Because I'll be 50 next year. Okay, I'm not a young buck anymore. But what I learned by going through the Rodney King riots back when I was about 21, if YouTube was around, I don't think those riots would have happened. It's very possible they wouldn't. Because YouTube, you go and you express yourself in a video, and then the criminal government's able to grow. And I'm not saying rioting's good, but I'm saying that the fact that a criminal, whether he's dirt poor or a billionaire, is nothing but a criminal. And a real criminal, not the ones that get framed by the criminal government, but real criminals, if they don't surrender and turn themselves in, then, you have a right to pull them out any way you can to get them into that courtroom and into that jail cell, basically. YouTube, they know if they got rid of YouTube, if they did anything big, if they cut the power, if the grid goes down, it's at the point now where they've overjumped the shark. So they got to be very careful how they tread, because if they do anything to really piss off the public, the truth would break out, and they would have a whole bunch of good people that are so upset at a criminal government, they wouldn't be able to stop everybody. And the people would end up restoring the Constitution, getting rid of all the criminals that have been doing horrific things to children, stealing all the money, taking away all of our rights, and so on and so on.